Venom 3 is set to hit theaters in a couple weeks, so let's take a look at another symbiote from the Spider-Man comics that will be brought into the fold, Toxin. As many of us know by now, the Clintar are symbiotic alien life forms that require living hosts to survive. They also reproduce asexually, meaning with themselves, kinky. Carnage is the offspring of the very first symbiote introduced, Venom, and Toxin is the offspring of Carnage, hence why Toxin's earlier design is a combination of the previous two generations, a red upper half and a darker black or blue lower half. Though it usually appears slimmer when attached to its host, like its father, it does increase its size when angered, having a shape similar to its grandfather. Each new link in a Clintar's evolutionary chain results in stronger progeny. Much like Carnage is stronger than Venom, Toxin is stronger than both Carnage and Venom. It has a greater resistance to their weaknesses, sonic attacks and fire, and also appears to be able to produce a deadly, glowing green substance out of the ends of its tendrils. Giving birth to Toxin was quite painful for the Carnage symbiote. It took a lot out of him and his host Cletus Cassidy. Carnage originally planned to kill his offspring, but became too weak to do so. He kidnaps a New York police officer named Patrick Mulligan, who he also sought to eliminate, only for his offspring to choose Mulligan as his host. Beforehand, Venom crashed into Mulligan's apartment to warn him, somehow knowing Carnage's intentions, or those of his unborn grandson. Learning that Pat's wife Gina was pregnant, Venom also questions him about parenthood and what cherishing an offspring actually feels like, because he definitely doesn't know. What's more interesting is that after Spider-Man arrives, Venom explains that Toxin is the 1,000th symbiote in their lineage. Every 1,000 generations, a Clintar is born with something called genetic memory breakdown. Essentially, this means it doesn't know how to act like a symbiote. Its mental state resembles that of a child, extremely naive, immature, and curious about everything, requiring guidance. This is what makes the dynamic between Toxin and its host Patrick Mulligan so unique. Unlike other symbiotes, Toxin doesn't try to take over Patrick's mind. It coexists with it by asking questions, sharing its thoughts, learning from its mistakes. It has a completely different kind of bond with him. It has violent moments, of course, a dark sense of humor, and has the odd slip-up here and there, given its nature and instincts. But compared to Venom, and especially Carnage, it's nowhere near as sinister. It won't go after innocent people that don't deserve it just because. Mulligan is an honest cop. He tries to keep Toxin under control as best he can. He's made it more kind-hearted, and they use their power to administer justice. Again, the symbiote does have periods of aggression and frequently misbehaves, but see their relationship, their partnership, as if they are father and son. Every parent can relate to this kind of bratty pushback Pat receives. I think it works well with this character, because Pat is learning how to be a father himself with his human child. Toxin and Mulligan's dynamic is so compelling because they are both taking steps to understand who they are. They learn from each other, need each other, in a completely different way than Venom and Carnage need Eddie Brock and Cletus Cassidy, respectively. For a while after Toxin was bonded to him, Pat was having an existential crisis. With all his newfound strength and energy, the danger it all posed to everyone around him, he had to constantly remind himself who he was, a police officer. He ended up temporarily leaving his wife for her and their baby's protection. With so much inner turmoil going on, the other voice popping up in his head, he even chose to end it all by jumping in front of a subway train. But Toxin saved him, reminded him why his life has meaning. He needs to be there for his wife, for his child. I can't tell you how refreshing all of these plot elements were in relation to the symbiotes. I really enjoyed the Patrick Mulligan era of the Toxin character during the mid-2000s. Having him be a genuine force for good helped him stand apart from Venom and Carnage, accomplishing things the others couldn't. It just sucks that his comic series had low sales, and Marvel made the dumb decision to kill off Mulligan, having him beaten to death by Blackheart and left in a gutter, which to my knowledge was never actually depicted visually in the comics, just mentioned in a throwaway line, even more insulting. Pat's death traumatized Toxin. He lost a friend, a father figure, and more of its vicious tendencies would surface. Since then, he's gone on to have new hosts, such as teenager Bren Waters, and yeah, even Eddie Brock, because why not? But Toxin no longer looks the same or feels the same. All the appeal the character had has been completely rubbed out. He's as forgettable as the rest of the symbiotes now, not named Venom or Carnage. On that shitty note, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on Toxin. Share them in the comments below. Hopefully, this new Venom film, as bad as it will probably end up being, I have very low expectations, will shed some more light on this mostly forgotten and underappreciated character. Here's to Toxin and his future. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon for notifications. Become a producer over on Patreon if you can. I will see you all in the next one. Take care and stay nerdy.